ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bran and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffin or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham Emery in the morning. I am Justin Emery. No Marcus Bradham today, so I had to call my guy up again to make his second appearance. Prince Blue, real name, no gimmicks. Yep. Prince, my guy, welcome back.
What up? What up?
How are you doing this morning? How are you doing today? On, I guess, the second day of legal tampering within the NFL. How are you doing when you wake up today looking at this?
Well, I'm feeling good.
Love it.
First of all, thank you for having me again.
I appreciate it.
It's raining here in Charlotte.
Oh,
it's raining here in Charlotte. So
today's my one chance where I get to brag about the Pennsylvania weather to my guest. It is not raining today.
I mean, you know, if you want me to continue to be a non-salted guest.
Nope. We moving on. Now, just let me get the administrative stuff quickly out of the way. Today, March 16th, couple anniversaries of today, couple birthdays we got to celebrate, Prince. Number one,
all right.
It's the anniversary of the U.S. Military Academy's opening.
Well, as a veteran, I will have to say happy birthday to all my brothers and sisters in the military.
Yes. Secondly, it is our guy's birthday today. He turns 27. One Joel Hans Embiid. Happy birthday to the big man. Get better soon.
Happy birthday.
And
happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm cutting that, making that a soundbite. That was great. That's becoming a soundbite. And third, James Madison, known as the father of the Constitution, was born on the same day as Embiid. I guess I should technically say Embiid was born on the same day as him, since he was born about 250 years ago, and Embiid's only 27.
Well, if you would ask Embiid, I think it would be the other way around.
Oh, no doubt about it. I got to get a quote on him for that. Hey, the father of the Constitution was born on the same day as you. What's your take? No, he was born on my birthday, not me on his birthday. No doubt about it.
He was born on my birthday. I scored 35 out of 10 on him. I am better than James Madison.
The thing is, if you know that if he was playing on today, he would have dropped 35.
Yeah, he definitely would have dropped 35 on him.
Oh, no doubt about it. We'll get into the Sixers-Knicks matchup tonight later on. But the topic of the day, the sport of the day, the headlines of the day are the NFL free agency. So, Prince, I got my list here of the top 20 guys who I think signed so far. Before we dive into the list, just off of what you happen to catch on TV, on social media, on the radio, what are just some of the guys, real quick, that jump off that you've heard so far switching teams or staying on their own teams that you think are going to have a big impact?
Jalen Mills, number one.
Oh, why'd you have to bring him up? Did you see what I had to do yesterday to somebody on Twitter?
I saw that. That's why I figured I'd just needle you a little bit.
The thing is,
come on, man.
Thing is, I don't mind him, the guy, Mikey Mack. I don't mind him. I just think that
It's your fault, Justin.
It is my fault. It is my fault. I know it is. But
do you know why it's your fault, though?
No, but I accept responsibility nonetheless.
Because you're an advanced stats guy. So now people, no matter how sorry you are, people can find some stats to verify your existence on this planet.
Oh, yeah.
Including Jalen Mills.
Yeah. No, he. Well, I said to him, I said, I pulled up quick PFF. I'm not a big PFF guy. It's good for quick references, and if I just want to look something up, I view PFF the same way that I view Wikipedia. Am I going to write a, am I going to write a thesis based upon their, their data and what I read on their sites? No. But is it a good point of reference real quick for me to look at? Yes. Yes, that's how I view PFF. That's how I use Wikipedia. So I looked it up real quick. I see he had like a grade of like 68.9 and like 25th at catches allowed. So I say to him, you're worried about a guy who didn't even hit a rating of 69, let alone hit a rating of 70. He's 68.9. This is who you're worried about. He came back with something. I don't even remember what he said back to it. But then I said I had to go into the bag. And as Marcus says, when I break out the notebook, we're going to have a problem. So I had to go in, pull out the advanced metrics, realize that as far as defensive backs go, he ranked about 40 to 45th in the league. So if you're worried about losing the 45th player at his position in the league when there's only 32 teams, I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't help you. You're beyond saving. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It is what it is.
I think that whole thing is just those advanced stats and stuff. It takes away from the whole eye test of what you and I grew up on. Is see a good player, know a good player, feel a good player. So now people are just trying to stat you to death to override what your eyes see. But to answer your question, I think the best moves were people that stayed with their teams, and that's Tampa Bay. I think
Tampa Bay came out big winners.
They came out big winners, keeping that team back together. Tom Brady again, allowing cap space again, and I think despite the whole corny, you got to beat the champs to beat a champs. They're reloaded. They're coming back, and they're going to draft again. So, how can they not be the winners?
Yeah. They spent a lot of money. They are all in, obviously, this year to repeat. When you got a 43-year-old quarterback, you're all in every year, okay? That's just
Correct.
The reality of it. You're all in every year. It's funny you say that because at the top of my list, the top two guys are Shaq Barrett and Levante David.
Boom.
Shaq Barrett.
Think alike.
Yes, Shaq Barrett, 4 years, $72 million. That's a lot of money. $18 million.
Cheddar.
It's $18 million. Levante David, 2 years, $25 million at 12.5. I don't know the specifics as far as signing bonus and how they're structured and cap hits and all that, but that's the value of the contract. So between the two of those guys, they got $97 million.
Don't forget Gronk back.
Gronk back, 1 year, $10 million. The fact that he was there was even headlines out that I saw, Gronk might leave, Gronk to the Raiders, Gronk to here, Gronk coming out saying, I would love to test for you. Come on.
Stop it.
Stop. Everybody knows you're either going to retire or play in Tampa Bay. Like, there's no...
Go play with Tom Brady. Yeah, that's it.
That's it. There's no other options.
I'm not going to go play with David Carr.
No. Derek Carr.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I can tell you, I can only make the assumption that the nightlife is better in Vegas than it is in Tampa Bay. I've never been to Tampa Bay, so I can't verify it. But being as how the median age is like 84 there, I can't imagine that it is a better lifestyle or better nightlife than Vegas.
Well, you could speak from experience,
Yes.
Being a well-traveled gentleman that you are, and having your back stuck to a lawn chair living in Las Vegas, so you know about the nightlife.
Facts.
But I've been
facts.
in Florida, haven't been to Tampa Bay, have been in Fort Lauderdale, been in Miami. The nightlife is pretty good in Florida.
Oh, yeah, in Miami, Vegas, of course. Yeah, in Miami for sure. But
as a family, though.
Yeah, but we're talking Tampa Bay, though. We're talking one of the retirement capitals of the world.
What, being gay? Come on, man.
So, And the thing about it with the Raiders is since they've relocated, they're now one of the teams that fall into a tax-free state.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yes, believe me, no one was happier moving from the Raiders or moving from Oakland to Vegas than Derek Carr. The amount of money that he saved in taxes from Oakland to Vegas is astronomical. Astronomical. Because the way that the NFL contracts work, I shouldn't say just NFL, all pro sports, are that you get paid based upon where the game is played. So when you're home, you get taxed at the home, what you get taxed at in that state. When you go on the road, when you go on the road, you play an away game, you get taxed for that game check at the rate of that state. So
you get 8 home checks at wherever wherever you play at, then 8 road checks.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And that is why, from a pure mathematics, numbers, salary standpoint, the best team to play for in the NFL is the Houston Texans. And that is because you are guaranteed 8 home games, obviously, in Houston. That's tax-free. You're guaranteed 1 road game in Jacksonville on the division, tax-free. And you're guaranteed 1 road game at the Titans, also tax-free. So 10 of your 16 game checks are tax-free. Also, with the NFL, you're only paid during the season. When your season ends, after the playoffs end, that's if you don't make the playoffs, you don't get paid your playoff bonus money. Obviously, once the Super Bowl ends, no player gets paid until the following year. So you don't get checks in the offseason like you do in the NBA and Major League Baseball. Those contracts pay you 52 weeks a year. In the NFL, you only get paid during the season. That's why when Vic was a quarterback with the Eagles, there's an interview of him talking about, he's like, I was getting checks every Tuesday, $1.6 million, because I only get paid during the season. So that's why these guys, I want to go play for Dallas. Do you? Because you're going to play a game at Maryland tax rates. You're going to play a game at Philadelphia tax rates. You're going to play a game at North Jersey tax rates. Do you really want to do that when you can flip and play in the same state, and instead of getting 8 tax-free games, you get 10?
So let me ask you this: is that some reason? Is that one part of the reason why sometimes we get some of these free agents, they sign somewhere and we be like, "What?"
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, think about it like this. Let me get my calculator up just so I can do some quick math here. So let's see. Say you are, just for this easy math, let's say you make $20 million a season. Okay, you make your salary is $20 million. So you get you obviously get the preseason checks and all that. So we'll say you get paid across the span of 20 weeks, $20 million. Well, we got to say 21 because you do get paid during the bye week. So we'll say 20. We'll say $21 million because I wanted to do $1 million per week. So for the easy math. So say you got $1 million per week that you're making, okay? And you were taxed at, let's say, the highest tax bracket for any state. Let's just say 40%. I know that's probably overshooting it a little bit, but let's just say that. So you're looking at $600K a week times 21 weeks. You're looking at $12.6 million. Okay? Now, if you cut that in half of what you would lose, you're losing, what's that? About 8.4. So take 4.2 of that back. So instead of making 12.6, you're making 16.8. So just by playing in a state that has no taxes, you're making $4.2 million a year more. Just for the same salary. So if you signed a deal in Texas or Florida or Tennessee or Seattle, or, any of the states that have no taxes, at a $21 million a year salary, you're making $4.2 million extra just by what you're saving in taxes.
No wonder some of these guys, where they be moving somewhere, I'll be like, why did they sign there?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Do you know how much money Harden made going for Houston, leaving Oklahoma City?
A lot.
Oh, we're talking probably between $5 and $7 million per season. I mean, that Dak deal looks real nice now, doesn't it? Because there's no taxes. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still got to pay federal taxes, obviously, but you have no state taxes. Like, there's no state taxes in the state of Nevada. So Derek Carr, now, he's leaving paying Bay Area taxes to nothing.
That's why Russell Wilson teams was kind of, his teams was weird.
Because think about it, you're playing 8 games in the Bay Area to go into 8 tax-free games. The amount of, some of these guys, I'm looking through the list right now. We got guys, don't get me wrong, who wouldn't want to live in L.A.? Who doesn't want to sign with the Rams? Who doesn't want to sign with the Chargers? But think about the extra money that you're going to lose. Another thing you got to factor in, now this is just because I do deep dives on the numbers for us. So think about cost of living. The same house that's $8 million in L.A. is maybe $2 million in Vegas. The same house. The same house that's $8 million in L.A. might be $1.7 million in Houston. These are things that have to be taken into account when you're signing a deal that big. These guys who, for example, let me look through. Like Jameis Winston, 1 year, $12 million. 1 year, $12 million at New Orleans. 1 year, $12 million at Houston. I know I keep using them as the example, but that's the best team to play for financially. You're not going to see too much of a difference in a 1 year deal. But you're going to, let's see, what's the biggest deal I see so far on here? But Bud Dupree. Talk about a winner in free agency. He signed a 5-year, $82.5 million deal with Tennessee. Tennessee is up there. Since they're in the same division, they get the 8 home games tax-free in Tennessee, the 1 road game in Houston tax-free, the 1 road game in Jacksonville tax-free. Bud Dupree made millions of dollars yesterday by leaving Pittsburgh and going to Tennessee, even if he signed the same exact deal. He made millions of dollars with that deal. Probably, I'd say he made between 15 and 20 million in taxes saved signing that deal, leaving Pennsylvania and going to Tennessee. Yeah. These are, Tom Brady leaving New England, the Northeast, the suburbs of Boston, some of the highest taxes in the entire country, going to tax-free Florida. That's not a coincidence.
Oh, TB12.
That's not a coincidence. So
talk about conspiracy theories.
Yes, but enough of me explaining the economics of
going
player
full
contracts.
Accountant.
Yes, yeah, we can get past that. But a couple other guys, I'll give you the top 5, and then we'll slowly break down the entire list from there. So, like I said, obviously number 1, Shaq Barrett. Number 2, Levante David. Number 3, Joe Tooney, signing the 5-year, $80 million deal to leave New England and go play offensive line in Kansas City.
Yeah.
It's a big one. Another offensive lineman leaving Green Bay, going to the Rams. Corey Linsley, 5 years, $62 million. That's big, especially with Matt Stafford under center now. So they've got a new center, they've got a new quarterback. They can get a couple other pieces. We could be seeing something interesting there. And then number 5, Jonnu Smith, going to New England. 4 years, $50 million tight end. I mean, he's athletically, he's a freak. He's from a tight end position spot, he is in a well above average to borderline elite athlete at the tight end position. Clearly, Bill Belichick wants to get the Gronk, Hernandez, glory days back with the athletic tight end that can move down the field.
And while you was doing the numbers, he also signed Hunter Henry.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, they just Adam Schefter just reported Hunter Henry just signed a 3-year, $37 million deal to go to the Pats.
Well, there you go. So they are clearly bringing that back.
2 tight ends.
Breaking
Hernandez,
news.
you just said it.
We got Blue here breaking news. That's why we have him. What was it? 3 years, 30 mil?
37.5.
37.5. Blue out here breaking news. I can guarantee I can throw on one of the main stations right now. They're not talking about this. So, love it. Love it. I actually have to update my list now because he was on a different list that I had that we can discuss. So I actually have to update my list real quick. But there we go. All right. So, that's huge. I love me some Hunter Henry. Knee issues, torn ACL, concussion issues, but when on the field, in my opinion, top 7 tight end in the league.
Cam Newton has 2 big-time target weapons that now, if they say his arm is, I don't want to say shot, because Cam Newton's shot arm is still a top 10 arm in the NFL.
Yes.
But if he can't drive it as far as they say he used to, I mean, having Hunter Henry and Jonnu, I mean.
Yeah. See, now, a lot of people bash Cam saying that, it's his shoulder, his arms. I actually think it's just strictly mechanics. I think that if he can sort out his mechanics, because he was never the most fundamentally sound player in the league.
Absolutely not. He was an athlete playing quarterback.
Yeah, he was never the most orthodox thrower of the ball and all that. I think that if he can get it sorted out and back to fundamentals and back to basics, then you're going to be, the Patriots are going to be in a much better position. As in addition to that, they have all the opt-outs that they had last year coming back. I think that the Patriots could be a big problem. I still, honestly, would take the Chiefs, but Patriots are looking good.
And I was going to say, for all those people that says, it's too late in the game for him to learn anything. Hello, Randall to the Vikings. I mean, you get somebody with the right coordinator and they're coachable and they're willing to listen.
Oh, for sure.
They can do wonders.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So a couple other guys got, like I said, Trey Hendrickson, the defensive lineman, going to Cincinnati.
Yes.
I mean, Cincinnati, I guess, when you got the guy, which looks like Burrow's going to be the guy,
he's definitely the guy.
The rest of the pieces can fall into place, but they're still a couple years away from contention. Let's just be honest. But
they have the guy.
They do have the guy.
You know who doesn't have the guy, or we don't know who has the guy?
Don't say it. Please don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
We
don't know if we have the guy. The owner tells them to make sure he's the guy.
I don't trust the owner with anything. So, here's an interesting one. John Johnson, safety, leaves L.A., taking less money to go to Cleveland.
Who takes less money to go to Cleveland?
Who goes to Cleveland? Forget the less money part.
That's what. No, I don't mean the team. I meant the state.
Oh, so would I. So was I. We were on the same page there. So was I.
I'm like Joakim Noah. Who says I wants to go to Cleveland?
Yeah.
All-time rant, by the way.
I actually just saw that the other day, so I'm glad that you mentioned it. I actually just caught that on YouTube a couple days ago, sometime last week.
All-time rant.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Carl Lawson, Jets, leaving, obviously, filling his void is Trey Hendrickson. But, Carl Lawson to the Jets, 3 years, $45 million. Admittedly, I don't know much about him, but if you're paying a guy $15 million a year, he better be a baller, Prince. He better be a baller.
It is the Jets. Don't you got to pay a little bit more? to come to that dumpster fire right now.
That's a very, very valid point. Very valid
Mm-hmm.
point. Aaron Jones re-signing. 4
Yes,
years,
that was
48
very
mil.
important.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes, the Aarons are happy in the frozen tundra. Too cold there for me, so you'll never catch me there. But they're definitely happy about it. They are definitely happy about it. And then rounding out the first half of the list, like I had mentioned earlier, Bud Dupree leaving the Steelers, going to the Titans. 5 years, $82.5 million. Currently, the highest free agency contract of someone
Speaking
switching
of well-rounded
of someone switching teams, I should say. Yeah, you're right. Tennessee's. I mean, I don't really believe in Mike Vrabel as a head coach, and I think that by the time they get it, they're good right now, but I don't consider them a Super Bowl contender. I don't consider them a great team, and by the time they are a great team, Derrick Henry will be on the back end of his career and or out of the league, and therefore they'll have to hit reset because he's right now. There's no monster in the league like him. You want a bruising back? They have them. They have him right there. But when he goes away, they lost Corey Davis in free agency. Tennessee, I think they're I don't believe they ever had a window as far as a legitimate window to win. They had a window where they were a nice team. I think that window comes crashing down this season.
No, Justin, I was talking about the Steelers.
Oh! I thought you were. Sorry. I thought you were talking about the Titans.
That's why when you was talking about Vrabel, I was like, I agree. No, I'm talking about the Steelers' well-rounded organization.
Oh, absolutely.
How they keep spitting out linebackers.
Oh, absolutely.
I was talking about the Steelers.
Yes, I agree 100%. And it's going to be interesting because he really didn't play a lot last year.
Nope.
From the injury. So they still went, 11-0 the first 11 weeks of the season, and I believe he got hurt week 5 or 6, I think. So they played a lot of the season without him. Will be interesting, though, to see all the attention that switches to Watt now that he's not going to be there, though.
Watt's very, very good.
He's phenomenal.
Player. God bless their mama. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All three of them. All three of them.
Oh, man.
So,
Dad, too, because it's dad genes, too.
Oh, for sure.
Man, you put out 3 All-American, All-Pro.
Yo, imagine how good their high school was. Because
you haven't even
in high school,
kids, Mrs. Watt?
In high school, you know guys play both ways.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine?
Whoa, what are we talking about here?
Oh, whoa.
Sports?
Yes, both sides of the football. Okay. They play both sides of the football.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Iron Man football. Okay, go ahead.
So, you had that defense with 3 Watt brothers on it at one point in time. What are you going to do? What were you doing? What are you doing there?
Forfeit.
Basically. But
if I'm the coach on the other team, I'm like, yeah, come on. What is this, y'all?
That's pretty much. I remember when I was in high school, we played against what school was it? We played against Conwell Egan, and at the time, Steve Slayton, former Mountaineers running back, former Dolphins running back, former Texans running back, was a senior there, and not very big, or I should say, not overly big for his stats. He was the best player in Philly, a high school player at the time, one of the best prospects in the whole state of Pennsylvania. This man had 181 yards or something at halftime. But the problem is that we were still up 24-10. And I was like, how does this guy have 180 yards and his team only has 10 points?
Listen.
High school football, that's what it is. That's what it is, Prince. High school football.
Empty stats, yo.
Absolutely.
Scouts are in the stand, get a ball to Slayton.
Pretty much. But we're going to go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, it's Tuesdays, so we got my guy Twitty with another conspiracy theory. We got Prince on the line again, which means we're going to have some heavy conspiracy talk on the other side. Branham Emery in the morning. No Marcus Branham, Justin Emery. Prince blew in on the call-up today, and we'll catch you on the other side of the break.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yeah, man. Bran and Emery in the morning. No Marcus Brown, I'm Justin Emery. Got my man Prince Blue hanging out today. And it's Tuesday. It's 10:30, which means it's time for a conspiracy theory. We got my guy Twitty from the Twitty and the Bran podcast. Catch it every Friday, out on every platform. He's on the line with us now. Twitty, my guy, how you doing today?
What's happening, boys? Just watching my one share of GameStop go just wild all day.
Oh, is GameStop booming again?
No, it's down right now. It had a pretty nice boom last week, but I just own one share. But it makes investing more fun because there's a ton of movement during the day.
Well, if you're interested in a stock that will make you a fat amount of money in the next 6 to 8 months, I have to preface this by saying I am not a financial advisor, so please do not file anything against me with the SEC. DMYD, look it up. It is it's a company that provides, I don't even want to say deep second level analytics. We're talking third, fourth, fifth level analytics to sports books in regards to how they set their lines. And they have signed exclusive deals with a couple of these sports leagues in the last couple weeks.
So are these the guys coming up with the free money Thursdays on FanDuel?
I hope so. I hope so, because those guys are handing out money like it's going out of style.
I was excited to get that text from you in the group chat yesterday.
Yeah, had to. Prince was killing me earlier because I said I was out on LaMelo Ball because he cost me $9.
That's a sickness, Twitty. That's a sickness.
Over $9.
A cry for help. That's what and I'm going to help him, believe it or not.
Yeah.
As soon as this broadcast is over, I'm going to get him the help he needs.
Well, Prince is down in Charlotte, so he gets to see LaMelo Ball, firsthand.
Right.
And
right.
And while I think that he is box office, at least for the next 3 to 5 days, I'm out on him. I'm out.
The last month or so, there's been a lot of Melo highlights on my Twitter feed. I'll tell you that.
I mean,
he's beautiful.
He's lighting it up.
He's fantastic, man.
Now, Prince, is it like, I mean, obviously when you're walking around Philly during the season, you see a ton of EMBIID jerseys, see a ton of Simmons jerseys, Flip Sports during the NFL season. There's almost not a single place you can go where you won't see at least somebody wearing an Eagles jersey. Is that what it's like with Ball down there? Like, you just go wherever you go, it's just a LaMelo Ball jersey?
Well, it's different kind of here in Charlotte because it's kind of like hippie-ish, vibe-ish. It's not more you see jerseys, it's that you hear about them a lot.
Okay.
You see more Charlotte gear, and then when you start talking about it, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is Ball. But once it gets warmer, then you'll start seeing the jerseys and stuff like that a little bit more.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, he's all a buzz right now.
He is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, Twitty, I have been living on the streaming services the last week. I have been.
In what way?
I've been watching all sorts of stuff. I've watched so many reruns on stuff. Also, found out Blacklist has returned.
Oh, they're back?
They're back. They are back with vengeance. They're all the way up to like episode 10 now.
Oh, wow. They
Yes.
came back hard.
They came back with vengeance. And I'm starting to think, and we had discussed that, the pandemic episode that they had.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think that this is a piecemeal system, or season, from just recordings.
Is it a lot of solo shots of characters?
No, it's not. But the storyline, the timeline's not really adding up, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's scenes that are shot that I guess should have appeared in other episodes, but they got put into this episode. It looks like they were sitting there like, all right, we have all of these clips. Let's make an episode out of these clips.
So they've taken the old network trope of the clip show into an entire season? Is that what you're saying?
That's the vibe I'm getting. Because I'm trying to figure out why most of the top main characters are not in full episodes, and there's whole episodes just done by supporting characters in outside venues.
And you don't think maybe this was just the time they decided to start expanding on those characters?
I have no clue. I'm not the person to ask about that.
You never know. It could be.
I'm usually the person who forgets what happened in the beginning of the episode by the time the episode ends. That's why I don't watch movies.
I feel like that would hurt you more for TV, and you watch TV.
I know, but the thing is, like, it gets to a certain point in time where I just have accepted that I forgot what happened, and like we just keep moving on.
You must be a big fan of the last time on segment.
No, I'll tell you what he's also a big fan of. That's why he keeps forgetting.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. That's true too. That's not. The thing is, that's not even really that big of a secret, Prince. Like that's just kind of like common knowledge out here. But before we dive into your conspiracy, let's get some streaming recommendations from you.
All right, so I got 3 for you.
Talk to me.
I'm leading off strong with 2 documentaries, actually.
Ooh, okay, you got me. You got my attention.
They're so funny, you wouldn't think they're documentaries to watch.
Okay.
So the first one, a little nostalgia feel. Netflix released this yesterday, actually.
Ooh.
And it is The Last Blockbuster.
It's out. I have wanted to see this.
I deeply enjoyed it. They got a lot of big names for it. There's a very great segment of Doug Benson walking around this final Blockbuster store in Bend, Oregon, and he is quite possibly the highest I've ever seen another human being on screen before in this segment.
Oh wow!
But it's Doug Benson, so what do you expect? But that was awesome. It did feel like Netflix was trying to get the blame of Blockbuster's death off their head because they presented a lot of alternative theories for their demise.
We all know what happened.
The more I think about it, though, like, Blockbuster had a shot at coming back at one point, and then just the 2008 crisis hit, and they couldn't get any new capital in, and all that debt that Viacom had saddled with was finally a problem.
See, the thing is that go ahead. No, go ahead, Prince. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's be honest. Who the freak is getting in their car and going and driving to a store and renting a video?
I mean, we all were.
But no, now who's doing that?
Oh, I'm saying, but like they got into the streaming game before they finally gave up, and like they were doing better than Netflix at the time. Like they had a way larger catalog.
Yeah. Well, okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, they had a shot to transition to a relevant business, and they just didn't have the capital to make it happen.
Now, let me ask you this: could you have possibly seen? I'm just making it up. Bradham and Emery, the movie, brought to you by Blockbuster.
There is an alternate timeline out there somewhere where it happened, Prince, for sure.
Like they're doing Blockbuster is doing like movies, like they're producing movies and sitcoms.
So like it was before Netflix had their own originals, so they didn't
have
Blockbuster
originals
yet, but they would have had to get pushed that way over time. You know, same way Hulu got pushed to do originals and Amazon.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's Prince. That was a great question. I was at first I was like, nah, Blockbuster's too dumb to figure that out. But then as you guys started talking, I was like, that's actually a really good idea. But it takes me back to my point that I think they're too dumb to figure it out.
I might need to get working on that spec script for the movie.
Yeah, for real. I remember there was a Blockbuster up at State College, and I think it was my first 2 years there. It was like Blockbuster was still very much in. Netflix wasn't quite in yet. I think I remember like halfway through my junior year, Blockbuster was just out of business. And you strictly went there to get like the 80% off candy to dump in the jungle juice.
There's a great moment in the documentary where Ron Funches talks about like the week before all the stores near him were closed, and he goes, "Yeah, so I just went and rented like 80 GameCube games, and I still have all of those."
Oh yeah, you kept those things. I have a ton of Blockbuster original Xbox games, ton of them. Oh yeah, you kept them.
Alien versus Predator from a Blockbuster that I didn't take back.
Yeah, Prince, you keep that.
I can't believe I'm the only one on this call with no Blockbuster goodies.
Well, if you're in the South Philadelphia area for the next 7 to 10 days, make sure you keep your Blockbuster stuff hidden if Twitty comes in the room. Okay, if you have something that has that blue and yellow logo on it, I suggest hiding it.
I do want to get my hands on one of those polos.
I was going to say, would I be right in saying that if it is also a video game specifically, definitely hide it?
Nah, more the movies for me.
More the movies? Okay.
I don't have the systems for these.
Gotcha. I was always more of a rent the games, and if I like it, then I buy it kind of guy.
Nah, I rented games from there occasionally, but it was purely for the purpose of, all right, I've got 2 days to beat this. Time to get into it.
Makes sense. And then
there it is.
Oh, it's on this. There it is,
baby.
Oh, Prince, make sure you tweet that picture out after the show. Make sure you tweet that out so we can. Does Blockbuster still have a handle? Can we tag them in it? Is that possible?
So
No,
I don't know
they'll
if
probably
they
sue me.
do, but there's a Twitter account called The Lone Blockbuster where they pretend to be the last store, and it is so hilarious.
Yes. Whoever runs that account needs a raise.
Doug Benson thought it was the chick who was managed. Oh no!
Oh.
She's missing. Oh no!
Oh well, we know what Prince is doing for the rest of his Tuesday now. Oh, no disc. Oh, you found out live on air. There's no disc in the case. Let's give him a moment. Twitty, what else you got for us?
They're gonna crush him on those late fees.
Oh. No doubt about it.
On Netflix, I don't think this was a Netflix original though, called Operation Odessa. And I'm just gonna give you a snippet of the plot, and you're not gonna believe me that this is a documentary. So this is the story of three men: a Cuban spy, a Miami high roller, and a Russian gangster whose name is Tarzan. And they literally use the name Tarzan in serious situations for over an hour and a half, like it's just normal, and I can't take it. And this is the story of them trying to facilitate a deal where the Cali cocaine cartel was going to buy a decommissioned Soviet submarine to transport 40 tons of cocaine to the U.S. And it is wild. They actually have these three guys in the movie, and I don't understand why these people agreed to be on film.
See, that sounds like a Friday night for me. I mean, that's what
you got the hookup on the subs.
So, do you remember? I think it was 2014, maybe something around there, when they captured El Chapo, and he was like, I'll give, what was it, 80 million, 100 million, whatever it was, if someone can get him out of the country.
Yeah,
I'm going to incriminate myself, but I'd be lying if I did not say I sat down with a couple of friends and we drew up some logistics on if it is even possible.
We all broke the legal pads out. 100 mil is 100 mil.
Yeah. I will not say any names. They're no longer in the service, but at the time, I had a couple of friends who were Marines that they went into some serious in-depth analysis with me about how we could do it. Obviously, we didn't do it because the man's in jail right now, but to say that we did not think about it would be a flat-out lie.
Is him being in jail related?
No, unrelated. Unrelated. Also,
just one wild quote from the movie. So this guy calls somebody and he's just like, I'm trying to get a Soviet submarine. And the dude's like, yeah, that's a pretty wild question. Let me call you back. And he calls him back in 2 days and he says, do you want the sub with or without missiles? Like, my man just called up and ordered a sub with.
Oh, I love that. That is awesome. Sub with.
With or without mayo.
That's gonna be the name of this episode. Sub with.
Subwit.
Subwit. Also, might be incriminating myself a little bit right now, but it is actually incredibly easy to rob a bank. Now, I would not know from firsthand experience, but again, as I had mentioned, my friends that I had spoke to, it's actually incredibly easy to rob a bank. Bankers out there, please update your systems. Please get better security.
So
I worked in a bank for 6 months, and I agree.
See,
only do the DEA does not need to be listening, the FBI, the task force, who else does not need to be listening to this episode?
Most people. We should put the disclaimer from South Park on there. This should not be listened to by anybody. Speaking of that, I know one of you guys at least have seen the vaccine special, right?
Yes. I didn't think it was as funny as the last one, though.
I'll be honest, I didn't think the pandemic one was funny at all, and I thought the vaccine was hilarious.
See, I love the Randy as a main character thing. I'm fully on board with that.
I hear you.
One last stream pick.
I was gonna say, do you have anything else for us from the stream?
Yeah, so just one last one I won't go too deep on. Malcolm in the Middle is free on IMDb through Amazon Prime. And it holds up because it just doesn't take itself seriously, and I love that.
Marcus, if you're listening, Twitty, can you repeat that again?
Malcolm in the Middle is available on IMDb TV on Amazon Prime for free.
Malcolm in the Middle.
All right, yeah. That's me and Marcus often talk about that. That is one of our if we were to pick the top 5 to 10 shows that as a show we enjoy, Malcolm in the Middle would be very high on that list. So Marcus, if you're listening,
doesn't even register.
It was Bryan Cranston as the dad.
Yep.
Don't remember who the mom was.
I mean, Cranston and Frankie Muniz are pretty much the memorable people.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of like the bit part, one
and,
episode characters are more memorable.
And who's the kid that plays the youngest brother? He was also in Joe Dirt.
Was he in Joe Dirt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. I have no idea what his name is.
He's also plays like one of the other kids in the show as well. It's like
he's Dewey in the show.
Yeah, Dewey, that's it. Think of like I'd almost go as far as it's kind of like the wild family stuff. Like imagine if like Family Guy was like not animated and like those characters like were like had people.
Like they have the cutaway fantasies, they have stuff that like you shouldn't believe, but they just move right past it as if it's normal. That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah, imagine if it was Family Guy just not animated. Like that's the kind of show that it was. Prince.
What'd you say?
Oh no, I was saying if you take Family Guy and make it not animated, that's the kind of show that Malcolm in the Middle was.
Justin.
Yo, can you hear me?
Oh no, tech diffs.
Justin.
Twitty, you got me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Just gonna mute Prince for a hot second. He's obviously got some tech issues.
Ouch.
It's all right. He'll get it sorted out, I'm sure. No, I'm not worried about that. We'll get it figured out. In the meantime, you know why you're here. Let me get your
my
music.
foil hat ready.
Let me get your music bed up. I know I have it here somewhere. I tilted my iPad sideways, so everything's different. There we go.
Do you ever wish your favorite TV show or movie was real? What if that meant that they were an elaborate, decades-long attempt to either belittle believers or prepare the public for greater truths, depending on who you ask? I'm here to ask you, was the Stargate franchise a psyop? In 1991, a U.S. Army unit had its official designation changed to Project Stargate. You may remember that from my discussion on the Gateway experience. It didn't have much to do with Stargates, but the Army's use of the name in 91 is important for the timeline. In 1994, an enormous summer blockbuster debuted starring Kurt Russell. Its name? Stargate. The film, and the franchise that rose from it, popularized the idea of Stargates in the zeitgeist years before Ancient Aliens could tackle the topic. A growing portion of conspiracy theorists took the movie a little more seriously than others, though, claiming that the movie was inspired by actual events that are being kept from us. They even went so far as to claim that Saddam Hussein had a functional Stargate and that it was the reason for our entire military presence in the Middle East in the early 1990s. Later in the 90s, the first Stargate TV show became very popular with these theorists. I imagine in an attempt to possibly glean any correct details from the show that they could find. But it gets a lot weirder with a very special episode in season 5. The show's landmark 100th episode, titled Wormhole Extreme, the Stargate group is sent to investigate a TV show within the show that bears some striking similarities to the Stargate concept overall. There's also an X-Files episode with a very similar concept. Over the course of the episode, the gang discovers that this show is written by an alien living on Earth who's been drugged by his crew to forget that he's an alien, whom he's previously met the Stargate crew. They also discover a nefarious organization that is using the show to lure the aliens' mothership closer to Earth so that they can seize it and the technology it holds. Conspiracy theorists took this episode as a direct middle finger to them. It simultaneously confirmed their suspicions and made fun of them for it. But they also claim that the show may be using this show to prepare humanity for the day that Stargates will be revealed to the public. Too long, didn't read. The Stargate franchise is a psyop.
Now, when that stimmy hits tomorrow, where can I buy one of these Stargates?
I assume it's at the Saddam Hussein estate sale.
I'm guessing I probably need a passport to attend that.
Probably, yeah. Also, I don't know if they're letting us in still.
Oh. Well, I guess I'm not getting a Stargate then this week. It's unfortunate.
I mean, check Amazon. It's probably not Prime, but
so
what's the credit score for Stargate?
I don't know if the number exists yet.
Fair. I mean, I don't know. This one, the thing when you mentioned the X-Files thing, I don't ever really recall hearing the Stargate show specifically, but when you mentioned the X-Files,
there's 27 seasons of it.
No. I'm saying I've heard of the show. I never heard of like the theory tied in with the show. Is what I meant. No, I definitely seen I've seen their stupid commercials before, but since I'm on the rewatch of the X-Files, that's why this sounded so familiar. I'd have to say, out of all of your conspiracy theories, this is probably the first one that I'm out on. I think this is probably the first one I'm out on.
Speaking of conspiracy theories, did you hear about one of the conspiracy? There's a season to where Duchovny was so he was ready to move on that there's an episode where they shot him from the waist up. It was because he refused to wear pants on set.
I believe it.
So they shot him from the waist up the whole episode.
Around season 6 and 7, there was a lot of hostility between Duchovny and Anderson and the producers.
See, here's the thing.
And they shot him from the waist up the whole
episode. And then
episode.
they shot 2 seasons without them, basically.
See, here's the thing is that, yeah, for the most part. But the thing is that if you were like, yeah, David Duchovny's not wearing pants on set, I would be like, okay, it's also Tuesday. Like
it's like, have you ever seen Californication? I think that explains it all.
Yeah, like that's not necessarily a conspiracy as much of a routine, I would call it.
They just keep his pants folded over the back of a chair next to the set for when he's ready.
Yeah.
But unlike my non-believing brother over here, I'm not out. You know why? Because I'm going to bring it much closer. Remember in Transformers 1, remember when Simmons took him to show him Megatron, and he showed them that all the technology they were getting since Megatron landed, the microwave and everything else. Yep. We have some smart people in the world. I agree. But some of the things that have came out of nowhere, like
that's fair.
Where are we getting these ideas
that's
from?
That's a very fair point.
We went from transistor radios to personal computing in your pocket in, at least cosmically speaking, a very short amount of time.
Thank you, Twitty.
No, that is a great point.
We're here.
That is a great point. Now, before we let you out of here, I know that you spent some time this weekend looking at Jose Canseco's timeline.
I did. Oh, boy, was I entertained. Thank you for pointing it out to me.
So I was mentioning this a little bit to Marcus yesterday. Now, see, I buy into, like I said, this is the first theory of yours I haven't bought into. Prince, I mean, you say the word conspiracy theory and you've got his attention for hours on end. Marcus, obviously, not so much. You mentioned time travel, and he's zoned out faster than you can imagine. So yeah, if you mention time travel to Marcus, he doesn't matter. The only time traveling that works for him is when he is from 1 a.m. to like 7:30 a.m. every day. Like that's his time travel. But this Jose Canseco thing was phenomenal.
It's great because, like, in between the conspiracy theories, there's also him shooting a shot at J-Lo.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when he tweeted, "I live on a different plane than everyone else," I have not read a truer thing from anyone in a long time. Because let's be honest, Jose Canseco is not living on the same plane as any of us. We all know that. Also, he owns I had to shout him out yesterday for this. I'll shout him out again. He owns one of the best car washes I've ever been to.
All right, humble brag. Somebody's been to Jose's car wash.
No, he owns a ton of them. He owns a lot of car washes in Vegas, and I'm sure they're in other cities too. But he owns a fat chunk of car washes in Vegas. I mean, they'll do. I wouldn't be surprised if they made me breakfast if I asked for them there. If you go in there and say, "Hey, man, let me get some bacon, egg, and cheese with that XL shine," they'll do it. I mean, it's something else. Also, they give you 50% off your gas if you get a car wash there.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, most places are like 20, 30 cents, 50% off. And when gas is like $4.50 a gallon, you take that. It's also
they
baseball
also shoot
themed.
you in your ass with HGH.
Well,
That's a feature.
That only happens. Prince, that only happens after dark. Come on now. They ain't doing that during the daytime. Too many witnesses. Too many witnesses, Prince. Come on, don't incriminate people. Twitty, what you got on the podcast?
While we're on the
What's
subject of Jose Canseco, do you think people are legit mad at him because he told, or you think people are mad at him because they ruined the time to where they really enjoyed baseball?
I think people are mad at him because he's nuts. I don't think
that's a piece of it.
I don't think it has. I think that's what it comes down to. I think it's because he's nuts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always wondered that. I thought they was mad at him because they ruined that whole American Pie home run.
No, you got to understand.
Thingamajigger.
No, you got to understand. The people that are mad about that don't know how to use Twitter, so you don't have to worry about that. People that are mad, people that are mad about that are not on social media, so you don't have to worry about that. Exactly. Exactly. Twitty, what you got on the podcast this week?
Bran and I are going to be talking about Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Yes.
I'm very excited for that one.
One of the few movies that you've teased that I have seen before.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
I know. I have seen that movie. I haven't seen it for a while, but also legendary soundtrack for the movie.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Legendary soundtrack for it. That drops Friday? What time?
It does. Yes, indeed. Should be out early morning.
Love it. Love it. Let everybody know where to follow you at.
Be sure to follow me at Ultron1321 on Twitter and the Gram. You can follow the show at Twitty and the Bran on IG, at Twitty and Bran on Twitter, and be sure to like us on Facebook.
Love it.
There's no
Appreciate
strings
it.
on him.
Nope.
There's no strings on him.
Nope.
Pleasure as always, guys.
Appreciate it. Talk to you next week.
T.
Also, we will have to schedule a time. Now, we might have to take it to real time, Prince, but we need to do a deep episode on conspiracy theories. That might
see if we do that, they'll shut me down because I get into that defamation thing.
I'm very into it, but I've got to drop because I got to get on a work call, guys.
Catch you.
Go ahead, buddy.
Twitty and the Bran right there.
Look at that. Man, got to do work.
I mean, somebody does. Somebody does. Better. I mean, more power to them. I mean, what are we doing? We're sitting here talking about nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to go to a quick break, and then on the other side, before we get out of here, Prince and I are going to give you the remaining free agents, if they are still remaining at this point in time, that we want to bring to the Eagles. Prince, I know you got a couple guys that you've seen that you like. Got a couple guys that I've seen. Now, whether they can afford it or not is another question, but I want to get some names out of you on the other side. Bradham Emery in the morning. No Marcus Bradham. I am Justin Emery, joined alongside by my guy Prince Blue. Real name, no gimmicks. Catch you on the other side.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code Bremy for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorn.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, Margarita, and Taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yeah, man, we back. We back. Bright and Memory in the morning. Justin Emery. Got my man Prince Blue here. Now, one guy that we did not talk about as far as other teams' free agency goes that will have a major impact against the Eagles is the fact that Ryan Fitzpatrick has signed a one-year deal with Washington. Washington, their team was already really solid. I'd say one of the elite defenses in the league. I'm not going to say top 5, but one of the elite defenses. And pretty much only a quarterback away, if we're being honest, from being a very viable playoff team. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic's legendary for what he's done around the league. Do you think Washington is now the favorite in the division, Prince?
Hell no.
All right, then. I like that. But I'm going to need some explanation now.
It's painful for me to say it. It's still Dallas. It's still Dallas with Dak. Because that offense with him is still the best in the NFC East, and offenses put up points, so
For
that's
sure.
their defense was. I get it. Their defense was terrible, but it was more that the coaching was terrible, the scheme was terrible. Everything just went wrong, and they lost their emotional and their best playmaker, which to me was Dak. So you put that back in the mix, and they're still number one. Now, I got Dallas 1, I got Washington 2, I got Giants 3, and I got the Eagles 4th. That's
fair.
my order.
I would switch the Eagles and the Giants just because I have so little faith in Daniel Jones that I'd switch that. But as far as your the rest of your list, I think that you're spot on for that.
And you know why I ultimately did that? Because of course I don't have the Eagles last. You know why I did that? Because I'm feeling petty right now.
Ooh.
Because I'm so pissed off at this team.
Okay, yeah.
Because we just won the Super Bowl in 2017, and now to see where we're at, I'm pissed off. I would never, ever, ever in a million years put my team 4th in the division. We can have Temple players, and I would still put my Eagles at number 1. But I'm so pissed off right now that I'm so petty that I would just silly hot takes.
But listen,
to make myself feel better.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're not necessarily wrong. I mean, if you look at the teams, Dallas, say what you want about, the jokes are obviously all there. But in the last 3 to 5 years, they've hit on nearly every draft. The Washington, their defense is littered with first-round picks that are making impacts. And with the Giants, the same thing. With their D-line I think their D-line is nothing but first-round picks, just like the Redskins or with Washington. So, I hear you, but I understand why. But at the same time, you're not necessarily wrong from a logical standpoint either, because when you whiff on 6 of the last 7 drafts and whiff on your free agency year after year after year, this is the situation you get yourself into. This is what happens. And if you whiff on this draft...
How do you screw it up, Justin? How? Free agency is for need. The draft is for... I don't understand. Here's the
thing about the draft is that any team can withstand one bad draft. Every team has at least one draft in their history where you can go back and look and be like, man, they screwed this one up. Happens to every team. No GM has a perfect track record. Everybody whiffs, everybody misses. The key is that you cannot do two things. You cannot whiff whole years where you go whole drafts with whiffs. Usually you can get at least one or two guys. You can't go whole drafts with whiffs. Secondly, you can't go whiffing year after year after year. And what they did, they found this unique combination. They found a way to screw up so much. They whiff year after year and whole drafts year after year. They do both. I'd have to go back and do a deep dive, which maybe maybe I'll get that ready for next week. I'll do a super deep dive on the state of the Eagles' fall compared to other falls. But I'd have to venture to say that this is probably one of, if not the most dramatic drop-off from Super Bowl championship team to nothing that, at least in recent memory, potentially ever. I mean,
think of how happy we was when he made that move up to get Carson Wentz to where we are now.
It was actually, here, I'll play it for you right now. So this is actually a little cut up that I made for 4th and John when the Eagles draft. This was some point in time during Wentz's rookie year. I forget exactly when during his rookie year it was. Some point in time, I made this for 4th and John, and I'll play it real quick right now.
The first time we're going to hear Justin.
Oh, wait, no, hold up, wrong clip. That's me talking trash about Carson Wentz. Forgot about that one. The thing is, I named them both the same. I named them both the same exact thing. That's actually me talking trash about Carson. Where is it at?
Sound like you was talking a lot of trash about Carson.
That was. All right, I'll find it. I can't find it in this folder. Marcus, this is why we gotta get another iPad, Marcus. Too many clips over here. Too many clips. Too many drops. But it's a. I'll just give a synopsis of it. It's taking me a minute to find it. But what it is it's the song All My Life. It's that music. Yeah. It's like that instrumental laying. Over top of it, it's Max Kellerman talking about his rookie year, the game against Roethlisberger. It's Mike Zimmer talking about him. It's audio of Deion Sanders interviewing Wentz at the draft. It's the phone call with Howie and Doug when they drafted him. All that different stuff. It's like all of that like mashed up into like a tribute thing. And I made that because, like you said, his rookie year, we all thought. We were like, yo, this is what it feels like to have Tom Brady. This is what
it feels like to have the guy.
Like, do you remember E-Rock's legendary video, Fix It?
Yeah.
That was like the start of it. And then after that came out, all of a sudden, boom, we have a quarterback. Like, Prince, I'm trying to think of a way to better word it than what you said, but I mean, that feeling of when we got him is indescribable. Like, when you have that guy, it's indescribable.
It damn near, because think about it, how many times we looked around the league and we was like, where's our guy? Where's our guy? Where's our guy? And then we finally, you know how it always been as an Eagles fan. You was like, yeah, they say we're going to get this guy, but how?
Oh,
how we
exactly.
Going to get this guy?
Well,
and then we was like, wait a minute, Howie. Wait a minute, how did Howie move? Wait a minute, did Howie really move up? Okay, wait.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, I think this may happen. Wait a minute, no, he may get Goff. Watch he do something stupid and get Goff. And then when the Rams came out and said, no, Goff is our guy, we're going to get Goff, and we was like, yo,
we got Carson.
We got Carson. So to go from that to he doesn't want to be here. He's working out with people, with Colts receivers. And I'm like, what happened?
That's fair. No, that's fair. Now, Prince, who are We got a couple more minutes before we get out of here.
Okay.
Who are some of the remaining free agents that you're looking at on this team?
Honestly, I was kind of looking at Corey Davis. I know it was stupid because we don't have money.
Right, and he's with the Jets, 3 years, $37.5 million.
And I was looking at Ngakwe. Because I still think we need a premium pass rusher.
He really disappeared with the Ravens. I was really disappointed with his play there. I thought that
I don't think he wanted to be there, to be honest.
I didn't want to be in Baltimore when I was there.
Yeah, well, you know how it is when you don't want to be somewhere.
Oh, I do. Now, so here's the guys that I'm looking at. Now, like I said, most of these guys, I'm sure they're not going to be able to afford, if they're able to afford any of them. Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback from Seattle. He, the Seahawks would love to keep him, but they're lowballing him right now. They're not giving him what I would consider a fair offer. He's only 25, and I really think that him opposite Slay you would go from having one of the worst corner tandems to one of the best corner tandems by picking him up.
I don't. So you're thinking we're about to do the Groupon thing pretty much. We're gonna wait till the market settles.
I do.
Yeah.
Another guy I'd look at is Keanu Neal, the safety from the Atlanta Falcons. Hits like a Mack truck. The Falcons went and got him because he was very similar to Cam Chancellor from the Seahawks. Only 26. The problem against him is that he's got a lot of injuries. He's injury prone. And when you have a hard-hitting safety that's injury prone, you don't necessarily want that. But the thing about him is that when he is on the field, he is a game-changing safety. So, and he's only 26. Now you lost your safety, who it doesn't matter to me personally, and then you got to assume. I don't want to write anyone off, but I got to assume that Rodney McLeod is.
He's done.
He's done.
He's done here.
I mean, I don't want to bury anyone, but I got to assume he's done. Like that injury at that age, at that position. Like, I just got to be realistic about it. I don't want to, but I'm just being realistic about it. Third, now I'm sure that they're not going to get this guy. I'm almost positive they're not. But I have long said that this is the guy who needs to be your number 2 behind Miles Sanders. That's Leonard Fournette. I think that Leonard Fournette and Miles Sanders could be a phenomenal 1-2 punch. They ain't going to get Leonard Fournette, let's just be honest.
But that's the gift and the curse of a whole new coaching staff, a whole new philosophy. We don't even know what Sirianni likes. I mean, that was Frank Wright's offense.
Yeah.
We don't know what he caters to. We don't know what his philosophies are. We don't know if he likes a 2-back system. We don't know if he likes to feature a one guy. We don't know if he's a matchup guy. We don't know if he likes one wide receiver. We don't know.
We don't know. There's a lot of question marks about him. You're absolutely right.
Right.
I just feel like Sanders can bust a 60-yard run as good as anybody in the league. But you need somebody to thump back there. And Leonard Fournette, I think, is one of the best thump running backs in the league. That's basically all I got about why I want Fournette. I just think he's a phenomenal compliment to Miles Sanders. And then the fourth guy, Hassan Reddick, the linebacker from Arizona Cardinals, played right here, Temple University.
When have Howie ever done anything that we want?
You mean something that makes sense? Never.
Yeah. Yeah. And Saints just released Quan Alexander. So
he showed a lot of wear though last year, Quan.
Yeah.
You got to take a phone call. You got to just do your due diligence. But he's further down the list for me personally about people I want to bring in.
It seems like to me this is going to be you want to talk about having to hit home runs on all your draft picks.
Well,
because
Prince, say you're sitting at 6. I want to get your take on it. You're not trading out, okay? You're not trading out of 6, so that is not an option. Who you taking?
You going? It's corny, but you're going best player available.
I agree, but I'm saying so. Take the obvious guy. So take all the three. Take the 3 quarterbacks off the board. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Take Fields, Lawrence, and Wilson off the board. Take the offensive lineman from Oregon. I can't remember his name. Sewell, I think his name is. Take him off the board, and take Smith. Take the guy Smith off the board, the wide receiver from Alabama. Take those 5 off the board. Everybody else is still there. Who are you taking at 6?
I'm going Chase or Pitts.
Okay. I understand why. You want a dynamic offensive playmaker to pair with Jalen Hurts with an extremely stale offense. Like, it makes perfect sense. I get it's nearly flawless logic. I understand. However, I'm not even going to the offensive side of the ball.
You're going defense.
I'm going defense. Your team is decimated on the defensive side of the ball. Decimated. I mean, you have Slay, who's a good corner, not a great corner. You have no safeties. You have Fletcher Cox, aging, elite player, but I think that he's either at like the start of the back end or in the back end of his career now. I mean, he's over 30. Like, it's not a knock against him. It's, Father Time defeats everybody. So, and then obviously Brandon Graham, what's he, like 33, 34? Now, I do like Josh Sweat, but your defensive tackle signings in Malik Jackson and Javon Hargrave not panning out very well right now. So, realistically, you're telling me that your bright spots on your defense are aging defensive linemen, Josh Sweat, and Slay. Like, that's what you have to work with, right?
Who's the dynamic pass rusher in this draft?
I'm going to get Micah Parsons, the linebacker from Penn State.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Prince, I will send you after the show. I will send you a highlight reel that I saw of him.
No, it's not that. It's just that I can't do it because I can't trust the Eagles. See I'm scarred.
I hear you. But what you got to do, like, if you want to set the tone, like, we're talking, Micah Parsons is Luke Kuechly. Micah Parsons is Patrick Willis. Micah Parsons is Devin White down in Tampa Bay. Like, that is who you're drafting. You are drafting your anchor for the next 10 to 12 years in the middle of this defense. That's what you need. Pitts is probably the most surefire Hall of Fame player in this draft. Archbishop Wood's very own. Abington High School's very own. He is probably, if you were to say who is going to have a Hall of Fame career at this draft, you have to go with Kyle Pitts, in my guess. But you can go and get, like, next year, I bet you there's an Alabama and an LSU receiver that's a stud. And within the next 2 to 3 years, I bet you Iowa puts out a tight end that has a stud. I mean, there's 4 starting tight ends that I would put in the top 12 that all came from Iowa that are in the league right now. So I get why you're saying it, but I would rather have a dynamic, impact, generational linebacker than that at tight end or wide receiver. But
you know what you have fighting against you?
Howie Roseman?
You have an owner that loves offense.
I know. And Prince, that's the problem.
He's going to stick his head in that room.
And he's going to do something stupid. He's going to do something stupid, Prince.
We're getting a linebacker. I said make Jalen Hurts the guy.
I know.
What is up Micah Parsons going to do to make him the guy?
It's the thing is, we're talking. I mean, I understand that I'm not necessarily convincing talking to you when I say this, but I mean, like, for the people out there that are unsure, like, we're talking 6'5", 240 and runs a 4.3 40-yard dash.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm sorry.
I just know
I'm
that
stressing
that man
out over
that
here.
writes the checks is going to stick his head in the door. No, he's going to be sitting down already. No, matter of fact, before they even pick, he's going to be like, okay, show me the top 5 WoW guys.
Yeah.
On the offensive side.
Prince, I'm stressing out over here. Oh my God.
I know, man. I hate to do that to you.
Well, yo.
You lose $9 and then this.
I know. Yo, listen. I appreciate you jumping on. As I said last time, that was not going to be the only time you did it. As I'm saying this time, this will not be the last time you do it. So I appreciate you jumping on. And, people got to follow Prince. People got to follow Real Time. Let everybody know where to find it at.
Oh, man. At Real Prince Blue on Twitter. At Real Prince Blue on Instagram. Just Prince Blue on Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and to the live stream show. Set all your notifications. And that's it.
Love it, Prince. As I said, I appreciate you jumping on. Follow me
my man.
at Justin Emery Show on Twitter. Follow Marcus at Marcus B. Tweeting on all platforms. At Brad and Memory Pod on all platforms as well. Merch store at Brad and Memory Show is up. It is active. And use promo code BREMI for 20% off your order after all Sixers home games that are wins. Sixers home dub, you get 20% off the merchandise store at bradandmemoryshow.com. Our friends over at Beef Jerky Outlet Langhorne, promo code BREMI for 10% off your order there. Ships nationwide. Free shipping on orders over $100. We just picked up a supply from them over the weekend. You guys need this. It is the best stuff in the world. Trust me. Beef Jerky Outlet Langhorne, promo code BREMI for 10% off. And until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late. Talk to you tomorrow.